the thought terminating cliche. I actually wanted to prepare a list, but um, I didn't. Uh, we've always done it this way. Go along to get along. Uh, it is what it is. Be that as it may. Um, there are a lot of these little cliches that are out there in our language that are specifically meant to tie off a conversation and stop the conversation because someone doesn't have the wherewithal to say, you know what, I don't want to talk about this right now, or doesn't want to appear to not want to talk about it anymore. They will assert one of these sound conversation ending things, it's God's will, whatever, oh, God has a plan, trust the plan. That was a recent one. um, don't think about that. Don't look at the person behind the curtain. That's what a thought terminating cliche is. It's like, don't look into it. I don't want to go there. Don't talk to me about that. But they don't want to say that. It might be for various reasons they don't want to talk about it, but they throw these cliches out there, and people who know what they're doing with these cliches know what they're doing with these cliches. But a lot of people, they use these cliches as a defense mechanism, and they're not necessarily conscious of the fact that they are um, throwing out this tool. They do it all the time, but it's reflexive, right? So you've got a wide range of reasons people use this tool, but you got to know that it is a tool meant to stop the conversation. Um, I think that if you need to continue the conversation, you can try to make an appointment with the person to talk about it later, right? So that it can't squirrel out of this conversation that you need to have. Make it a point. Like, okay, well, we don't have to talk about it right now, but I do need to talk about it. When can we talk about it next? Right? If it's really important to you. If it's not important, you can let it slide. Like, there's nothing saying that you got to call out every logical fallacy, every linguistic trick that people use. I mean, they're everywhere. If you spent, you can imagine hopping on the internet and arguing with every logical fallacy that you see. That's thankless, endless, and pointless. I mean, come on. So I just wanted you to know what a thought terminating cliche is, and how it is being used, and that you have the choice to respond to it by either letting it go or making a point. Like, you know what, we don't have to talk about this, but we don't have to talk about it now. If now is not a good time, let's find a good time, right? There are all kinds of ways to artfully address it later, when maybe cooler heads can prevail. I mean, if someone's throwing out a thought terminating cliche, is entirely possible, and they are simply overwhelmed with everything in their life. They're overwhelmed with you because you're intense. Me, I never do that. Never do that. Okay. Um, okay, back off. If it's really important, make an appointment, right? Make a time. And very simply, let's talk about it after dinner, or let's talk about it over dinner. Let's talk about it tomorrow. During the kids' game, we can grab a little bit of time and do it. Whatever. But just be aware of the thought terminating cliche.